So if you're confused about the whole remote job, environment, the whole remote job landscape, and you don't really know how it works, or you're new into the remote job landscape, you're looking to land a remote job, but you really want to understand how this whole thing works from the beginning until the end. In this video, I'm going to be giving you a roadmap, into how a remote job actually works from when a job is posted right up until a candidate is being selected. So this is not like what actually happens for every remote job in every company. This is just what commonly happens. So I'll take you through this whole process for you to see how it works and how you can make things, turn things in your favor, how you can flip the switch and actually make things work to your advantage. And I'll be sharing with you my tips on the different things you should do at different stages to increase your chances of actually landing a remote job. So stick with me. So let me take you to my laptop where I give like a graphical representation of all of this stuff so that you can understand better. So let's get right into it. So first of all, the remote job search starts here. It actually starts here. So the first thing is that a job is being posted. So this is the first thing that actually happens when a job is being posted from the company. So this is the first stage of the remote job journey. The job is being posted in the company. So from here, what usually happens is that it goes all the way to be published on job boards. So you see, when it's published on job boards, that is when everybody gets to see that, oh, there is a remote job position, and job candidates start to apply for this position. So what is my take on this? So normally, to increase your chances of actually landing the job is to be at this point, to know when this job is from the company. Maybe it's posted on the company's page, or it's just somewhere around here, or in the process of being here. Maybe someone in the company posted about it, or you are following them online on social media. This is one important place. So because most times this job is going to be posted on the company's career website before being transferred to job boards. So this is just to give you a representation of what actually happens. So this is it. So at this point, it's being posted on job boards. So this is where everybody can see, everybody that is searching for a remote job can actually see this company. So you go to Indeed, FlexJobs, Remote.co, Remote.io, LinkedIn, different platforms, and you'll find this. This is where you will see these jobs. So at this point, this is where you start to deal with the competition. But there are a lot of ways that you can limit the competition of people actually applying for these jobs. And I've shared a couple of tips. On this YouTube channel about how to deal with competitions, like when applying for remote job. One way to do this is to go over and beyond why apply. So there'll be like an application process and all of that, but you have to trump all of these candidates. And one strategy I recommend that you do is go to LinkedIn and find the hiring manager of this company. So look up the company on LinkedIn, find the hiring manager, apply normally, then connect with them and send them a personalized application. If you really, by all means, if you really want to get this job. So this is like the phase 2. So this is like the phase 3. So it's published on job boards. Then this is where job seekers start to apply. At this point, from these job boards, a lot of job seekers get to see this job position. So this is where things get crazy competitive. So it's wise for you to intercept it at this point of the journey or anywhere along this. But even if you are meeting it at this point, you can still give yourself an edge by using my above and beyond strategy. So if you want to learn more about my above and beyond strategy, I'm actually looking to host a free webinar for people in my community. So you can join my community using the link in the description and tell me if you want to join, if you want to learn more about the going beyond and above strategy for applying for jobs. So let's move on to the next thing that goes on in this phase. So when this job is being listed, job seekers are applying. I've told you how to stand out at this point. The next thing is selection. Like, this is the part that you might not have so much control over, but there are a lot of things you can do to give yourself an edge over this point. So, and all of the steps can take anything from days, couple of hours to couple of weeks, depending on how long like their whole application process is and the number of candidates that are actually interested in this job. So this is just an interesting part. So this is the part that you might just get. All of these points can be like automated. This is a part that is usually automated. So this is where you like, when you're applying for the jobs, like you are getting a rejection email immediately. So this is the point where this thing actually happens, because now you are dealing with ATS, AI. And the funny thing that when it comes to remote job, like at least I've worked for a recruitment company not once. So when it comes to like manual recruitment, they'll have to go through the Excel sheet, look at each candidate's CVs and all that. That's the old way of doing things. So now with AI, things are faster. So they've incorporated AI into the ATS system, and this AI will select the candidates automatically in seconds. So this is where many job candidates follow. So how do you wing this part of the CV, of the application, the job application? Is your CV. This is the most important part. And this is where, like I always advise, you should have a base CV. I've shared my CV a couple of times, but that should not be like your one size fits all CV. You should have a base CV. But for every job you want to apply for, like the job that you really want to get, you should customize your CV to meet the job description. Why? Because of this point. Because at this point, the recruiter, the AI ATS is going to match the job description with the CV. So if keywords on your CV do not match the job description, it's going to sift you in this section, put you in the trash. But if you match it, it's going to take you to this side and you'll be among the selected candidates. What am I saying? For instance, they're looking for a customer service personnel or customer care agent, and your CV, you have people success manager. It doesn't match. Even if it's like technically the same thing that you're going to be doing on the job, the keyword, this is a machine, computer is an idiot machine. It is whatever is being told, the instruction that is being given, that is what is going to carry out. So it's not like a human being. So if those times when, humans like manually do the whole recruitment stuff, it's okay. Customer success, customer service is almost the same thing. But for AI, for machines and remote companies, they use AI, like companies abroad in the US, UK, not local companies that will still do things manually. They're going to sift this thing in a matter of seconds. So you want to give yourself a higher chance. So that is why it's very important to go through the job description and try to use the keywords used in the job description. Put that in your CV so that at least your CV can pass to this side. So this is what we call resume pass based on keywords. This is where most people, a lot of people have problems. This is where you'll be like totally trashed. So your CV leaves this place. So if your CV is not ATS friendly, it's not remote work friendly, it doesn't match the job description for that particular role, this is where your journey ends. Your journey ends right here, and that's all. You're going to get a rejection email. But if your CV kind of passes, you're going to be moved to the next stage, which is candidate data store. So these are like the people that their CV match. So maybe sometimes they might give a set of maybe a score, 9 people that scored 90, 80%, whatever the criteria for the selection is. So your CV, the data of the successful candidate to be stored here. Then they'll get back to you and give you an assessment. So when you give it an assessment, then, okay, we are giving an assessment. So this is an important part. At this point, you are like one leg almost gotten the job, but almost doesn't kill the bird, remember? So when you are giving an assessment, the important thing to do is for you, our advice at this point is to go on LinkedIn. Now, while you're looking at LinkedIn, look at what this brand has done regarding this stuff. And you can also network with employees that are already working in this company to give you an idea, not to actually give you the answers to the question, not necessarily, but to give you an idea of their brand voice, what they do. Or if you cannot go that far, is for you to Go snoop, go on their website, get every information you can get. If you're, for instance, you're a content writer, go to their blog, go to their website, read all of their articles, understand their tone, their brand voice, the products they are working on, they want to sell, the launch they are doing, like everything they are doing. This is where you can beat every other candidate for this job, and you want to pay close attention. I think the first thing you do is to just take down everything that they're working on, everything that is public that you can find, and networking with employees, making friends with employees that are already working in the company will give you a big edge. And networking is easy now. It's easy with the help of the internet, social media. You can find anybody and just talk, do your research. So this is what, and get people that already have some level of experience to walk you through. So this is what happens. So when assessment is being given, it might take a couple of days, a couple of weeks for them to get back to you. But if you familiarize yourself with people already working there or made yourself visible, it's easy for you to pass through this stage and just take things, be very meticulous. It's time for you to put in all of the effort. Act like you've already gotten the job at this stage. Put in all of your efforts. If you are supposed to write, add videos, like just go over and above if it's a job you really want to do. So after this point, you're going to go to the interview point. This point is another point. Like, this part can make or break you because there's no cheat to this. You're going to be interfacing with the leader, the hiring manager, the person that's going to be actually giving you the job. And the trick I have for acing interview is just to be calm, because at the end of the day, it's just a human being talking. It's just to be calm, but do a lot of research on the project. Like, the cheat is study the job description, study their project, study your CV, so that whatever you wrote on your CV is going to match, because they are going to be handing your CV and asking you questions based on what you wrote in your CV or based on what you have in your portfolio and maybe on your social media. So you have to take a look, go back to your CV, read it again, internalize it. So everything that you said on your CV, you should be true to you, and all of that. And do your research on the company. Learn how to introduce yourself properly and just relax, and always show that you really want to work for this company. Use words like, on this project, when we start this, blah, blah, blah. So those will give them the energy that you really want to be a part of this, and all of that. So that is the tip I'll give you. So at this point, after the scheduled interview, if you ace the interview, you are going to be hearing back from the recruiter or the hiring manager, whoever is in charge of the recruitment, and say you've gotten the job. So this is just like a roadmap of everything that happens when you actually apply for a remote job. Because a lot of people they've asked me this question. I'm like, let me give a visual representation of how all of this thing works so you understand. So this is the journey. This is the remote job seekers journey. I hope it answers the question as much as possible. So this is the journey. So you see the stages. So how many stages do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This can take anywhere from a couple of days, couple of weeks, and even months for all of these stages. And you get it wrong at any stages, especially at this critical stages, you're out. It's that simple. But I have a good news. The good news is that if you are new to remote job search, you don't know where to start from, you've not acquired the skill, you're currently doing a 9 to 5, you want to transition, I created a remote job starter pack to help you navigate this whole journey, to give you a more defined structure to navigate this whole journey. It includes a checklist, what you should be doing every day, remote job search tracker, different method that you can use to find remote job so that you can skip, you can reduce the competition and increase your chances of actually landing a remote job. I shared my CV template, my cover letter template, networking tracker, how to network on LinkedIn, because you see how very important networking and LinkedIn is in the scheme of things right now. And your CV is actually very, 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 very important. Your CV, your portfolio, and networking on LinkedIn is actually very important. So you can see how all of this in place. So I packed 11 templates together to help you navigate all of these things with links to my videos, my personal resources. And guess what? I also have a community that you can join. If you have questions, if you're confused at any point of this journey, you have questions that you want to ask me, I respond to all of my messages in my community. As soon as I see them, I respond to them, and I'll be responding to your messages. So our advice for you to get this remote job starter pack is to guide you on your journey if you are new to remote work or you are looking to transition, to answer all of your questions. And if you have additional questions, I'm always there to answer your question. So I'll drop the link to the remote starter pack in the description so that you can grab it. So this is how the whole journey looks like, and I hope you enjoyed this video. You enjoyed my illustration. If you have any question, do well to drop it in the comment section. If you're confused about the going above and beyond strategy I talk about, I made a video and I actually featured a recruiter abroad. So you want to watch that video. That video is an amazing video. So I'll drop the link to that video in the description so that you can go watch it. So if you like this video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. And if you watch this video up until this point and you are not subscribed to my channel, I'm just kidding. Subscribe to my channel so that this algorithm can push this video to more people that need to see it. Alright, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.